Today's story is different. Stay with us.
Ryan never imagined that a single message from a girl would turn his life completely upside down. Ryan was an ordinary 22-year-old young man. He was studying at university, spending his days moving between his studies, his phone, and a few friends. He wasn't the type of young man who often got involved in relationships or talked about private matters. He was somewhat quiet and preferred to live his life simply. But everything began to change the day he met a girl named Lily. Lily was different from the other girls at the university. She was bold in the way she spoke, confident in herself, and knew exactly how to capture attention quickly. When she walked into the lecture hall on her first day, many students noticed her, but Ryan was one of the ones who paid the closest attention. After the lecture ended, she approached him and asked about some of the notes he had written during the class. Their conversation began very simply, but as the days passed, their conversations grew longer and longer. Before long, Ryan began to feel something for her. Lily would send him messages late at night, talking with him for hours, laughing with him, and sometimes bringing up unusual topics. At first, the conversations were completely ordinary, but little by little, Lily began to steer the discussion toward bolder topics. One night, while Ryan was lying on his bed, scrolling through his phone, a message from her appeared. She wrote, "Are you always this shy?" Ryan didn't understand what she meant, so he asked her. Lily began laughing through her messages, then told him that many young men tend to do certain things when they are alone. For example, watching pornography or engaging in masturbation. Ryan felt embarrassed. He wasn't used to this kind of conversation, but he also didn't want to appear naive in front of her. After that, Lily began talking with him more and more about these things. She told him that many young men watch such videos, and that some of them engage in masturbation afterward. She spoke about it as if it was something completely normal. Ryan kept thinking about what she had said. Ryan felt embarrassed. He wasn't used to this kind of conversation, but he also didn't want to appear naive in front of her. One night, she sent him a video link and told him, "Watch this, just out of curiosity." Ryan opened the link, then quickly closed it again. He felt shocked at first, but curiosity was stronger. A few minutes later, he opened the video again. This time, he sat there watching it for a longer moment. That night, he went into the bathroom feeling slightly nervous, and under the influence of what he had just watched, he engaged in masturbation for the first time in his life. Afterward, he walked out feeling something strange, a mixture of relief and confusion. The next day, he told Lily that he had watched the video. She laughed and said to him, "You see, it's not something scary." From that moment on, a new phase began in Ryan's life. At first, it was simply curiosity. Lily would occasionally send him certain clips and ask whether he had watched them. Ryan would sometimes watch them late at night. Then he would go into the bathroom to masturbate, but he didn't realize that it was slowly turning into a habit. Days passed, and Ryan began watching those videos more and more frequently. He no longer waited for Lily to send him anything. He started searching for them on his own. One website led him to another, and one video led to the next. He would tell himself, "I'll only watch for 5 minutes," but those 5 minutes would turn into an hour, sometimes even 2 or 3. Ryan began spending his nights alone in his room, sitting in front of his phone or laptop screen, watching pornography for long hours. After watching, he would go to the bathroom to masturbate. At first, he did it once every few days, then it became once a day, then sometimes more than once a day. The addiction was slowly beginning to take shape. Ryan no longer felt like himself as he once did. He began staying up late into the night, watching pornographic videos. He would go to the bathroom, engage in masturbation, and then return to his bed feeling exhausted. The next day, he would wake up tired, unfocused, and without energy. His studies began to suffer. He would open his laptop to study, but after a few minutes, he would find himself searching for those videos again. Even when he was with his friends, his mind was elsewhere. He was simply waiting for the moment when he could return to his room and be alone. On some nights, Ryan would watch several videos in a row, then go to the bathroom to masturbate again. After that, he would return to his room and continue watching more. It became a cycle that repeated almost every night. Little by little, he began to feel that he was losing control. It was no longer just curiosity or an experiment. It had become a daily habit. Ryan began to feel a sense of emptiness after each time. At first, he believed that these things would make him feel happy or satisfied, but the reality was different. After each time he masturbated, he would sit on his bed and stare at the ceiling in silence. He would ask himself one question: how did I end up here? Ryan began to realize that Lily had been the first reason this door was opened for him. She was the one who spoke to him about these things for the first time. She was the one who sent him the very first video. And she was the one who turned curiosity into an experiment. But after some time, Lily almost disappeared from his life. Yet the habit he had learned because of her stayed with him. One night, Ryan sat in front of his laptop screen after spending long hours watching pornography. He went into the bathroom and masturbated, as he had grown used to doing. Afterward, he returned to his room and sat in silence. He felt extremely tired, not only in his body, but in his mind as well. He looked at himself in the mirror for a moment, and he remembered how he had been just a few months earlier. He had been more energetic, more focused, and more confident in himself. But now, he had become a prisoner of a habit he could no longer control. That night, Ryan realized something important. If he didn't stop this path now, he would lose even more of his time and his life. He began searching for ways to overcome the addiction. He read extensively about the effects of repeatedly watching pornography and came to understand that what he was experiencing was not just a passing habit, but a form of addiction. He decided it was time to start changing his life. He deleted those websites from his phone and began reducing his internet use at night. He tried to keep himself occupied with other things, such as exercise, reading, and spending time with friends. At first, it was extremely difficult. The urge would return to him from time to time, and his mind would remind him of the videos he had become used to watching. But Ryan began to resist. Every day that passed without watching, he saw as a small step toward freedom. As the weeks passed, he slowly began to regain control. He no longer spent his nights in front of the screen the way he used to. Muhammad Khalid, Yes bin Abbas. His sleep began to improve, and his focus on his studies gradually started to return. Ryan finally understood an important lesson in his life. Some things begin out of simple curiosity, but they can turn into addiction if a person is not careful with themselves. After months of patience and effort, Ryan distanced himself from pornography, stopped the excessive masturbation, regained his focus and self-confidence, and returned to a normal, healthy life.